how good does it feel, as much as you might be a little uncomfortable with all that water on you, how good does it feel to finally have your first Navy win?
You know, I tell people I've been doing this a long time, so I'm more excited for the kids because a lot of people don't understand the adversity, that these kids have gone through. The ability not to go home for such a long time, and just being able, with all the COVID protocols and different things. The other day was the first time we've had 10 players at practice. I think we've had it 3 days of practice with 10 players, and we've been just trying to control what we can control in each day. So honestly, I'm thinking about them and what they've been through, and I'm just excited for them. We still try to make it a little bit too interesting for me at the end. So, but no, it's about the kids. So I'm excited for them. I will say it was nice. It is nice to get the win. It's nice for everybody to be excited. So now we can move on.
Definitely. I mean, how important was that free throw, tonight? Obviously you guys went ultimately 75% for the free throw line.
Well, I think the difference in the game, if you look, I don't know exactly what they shot from the line. Last night's game, the only difference in the game was rebound and free throws. And I think tonight it flip-flopped, and we were able to take some big charges at times. These officials were calling the charges in both games. So I think being able to go to the free throw line and make those, and Jen just needs confidence, on those. And I told her at halftime, I said, you're going to go 6 of 6 on the free throw line and win the game for us, okay? So she didn't quite make me come true, but she did hit most of them, so.
Now, more than just having more players at your disposal, obviously giving girls time to sit if they need it, having those 3 leaders back, Jen, Colby, and Sophie, I mean, how much do you think that really just meshed this team together?
Well, I think it gives us more options. We can run more plays. We can isolate more things. We started again by trying to isolate Sophie, and Sophie didn't make shots, but what it ended up doing, it loosened things up for other people and opened up other driving lanes. So now you have to guard. We put 4 kids out there that could score. We had Lindsay who can shoot it. We had Sophie who can score, Jen and Colby. That's not the luxury we've had. So teams can load up on those 3. But when you add 4 out there, now it stretches, and then all of a sudden, if you noticed tonight, we were moving the basketball better. We forced American to have to move instead of playing strong side, as they did last night, which they did a very good job of.
First off, just Colby, career high in points today. What do you see from her out there? It just seemed to be going her way today.
Well, I think one of the things when we were watching film last night, like she hasn't shot the ball well in games, but she has shot them well in practice. And I think one of the things we noticed was that her elbow was a little bit out. I know that sounds very simplistic, but we just told her, I said, when you catch it, put your elbow by your side, just lock it in. When she's locked in, she's falling through. Every one of her shots, when we went back and looked at it, were coming up short. And today she was able to drive through the ball. And plus that is the arm that has been hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's been the one that's been tough on her when she hurt that at William and Mary. And so I think she was able to knock some threes down, and that really helped us today.
You've been talking in the past how you've been seeing growth in the team in practice. So how fulfilling is it to finally get this first win and see everything you've done in practice come to fruition in a game?
Well, I think that's where, the continuity, the more we can practice with the group, I think that's how you get better. So once again, we did some really, really good things, Phil. I mean, there were times that we looked like a really good basketball team. We're getting up and down and transition. We were reading things. But if you watch that game, we can still get a lot better. We can get a lot better in a lot of different areas. And I think that's the thing that we've got to continue to do. We got to continue to get better. We got to continue to show up every day in practice and work hard. And I think this group today, they've been very resilient in that. They've tried to do that, and they're laying a foundation.
You've been pushing tempo in practice all season. How was it just seeing this team run the floor and outrun American at the end?
Well, I think, there's a couple things that now we had Colby back, we had Jen back. So now, and then you get Sophie back. So all of a sudden now we've got three athletes that can push with them. And so that's why what we try to do against American. And let's face it, they didn't have Fisher today. Okay. And that's not an excuse for them. We didn't have Sophie yesterday. So what we felt like is they lost 30 minutes and we gained 30 minutes. So what we talked about in the fourth quarter, there's going to be a spurt that we can push the ball and get out and outrun them. And that was what we were hoping to be able to do. And that's where we were able to get some separation there.
You came back from injury, which obviously would put a little bit of rest on you. I mean, what was it within you today that you were able to kind of find your old self as a player?
I think it's just that we fought so hard to get a win. We have a lot of players back. We're usually used to playing with 8, 7 players. Now we finally have the most we've had all season. And it's just a fight. We're tired of losing. So we went 0-5, so it was time to get this win.
How much do you think it helped to have not only you, obviously, but also Jen Coleman back, Sophie back, you know, the leaders on the team?
Yes, it helped a lot, especially with Jen and I on the front end. Our pace, we're used to playing with each other, so we feed off each other's energy and off of each other's quickness. And Sophie's definitely a dominant player, so all of us working together definitely helps our offense as well as our defense.
Do you feel as though you guys put more fight into it? I mean, it felt like you guys were throwing yourselves at some of those baskets.
Yes, we definitely put more fight. We adjusted to the reps yesterday and the way they were playing defense. We took some charges. CC took a charge. We moved the ball really well, got a lot of steals, and played defense harder, definitely harder.
As you touched on earlier, this career high from you today, just what does it mean to have a game like this at this point in your career?
It means a lot, but I'm just ready to play Army.
That leads right into my next question. I mean, we don't look too far ahead, but Army is upcoming. How excited are you for that moment?
Very excited. Very, very excited. I think we're going to definitely pull out wins this season. We have a lot on our team. Everyone has something to give our team. And I think we'll definitely be successful this year.
And lastly, it's taken now 6 games in, but Coach Taylor finally gets that first win here at Navy. Just what was that moment like in the locker room celebrating with him?
We wrote on the board, "Congrats on your first win, Coach." And then he came in, we were videotaping, and we poured water on him. So he's soaked right now.